Welcome. Our presentation is about Space Force. Space Force was founded by our current US President Donald J. Trump in December of 2019. It's a new force that has been added to the United States in addition to the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. So what is Space Force? Space Force is to identify and destroy enemy satellites. It is also used to protect our own satellites in space. We can also use Space Force to find and explore new moons and planets. Can you stop dancing? Why we need Space Force? Because all of our today's modern technologies, including cell phones, navigation, guidance, weather monitoring, spying on other countries, all of them use space technologies like satellites. And on top of that, Russia, India, and China, they are developing anti-space weapons as well. US also has some. How you use anti-space weapons? Those are called ASAT missiles. So in ASAT missiles, also known as anti-satellite missiles, you identify that an enemy satellite is going over your skies. You launch an anti-satellite missile and destroy it with the kinetic energy at high speed. When you do that, the enemy satellite breaks down, thus destroying it, but it creates space debris, which is bad for the environment. Other way to counter space assets is using space planes. Russia has a plane called MiG-31, which can climb up over 100,000 feet. But space starts at 300,000 feet. So it is not good enough to actually reach the edge of space, but it can launch missiles from that 100,000 feet to shoot down enemy satellites. In the past, US has done the same through F-15 plane. However, both Russia and US need to improve their technology a lot. US has SR-71, the Blackbird. It can go really high at 90,000 feet in space, but it has no weapons, so it cannot destroy any enemy planes. Let's talk about what science is used in creating Space Force. So first of all, space planes and space weapons use Newton's 3 laws of motion. That is, first law talks about an object at rest stays at rest. But as you know, satellites just keep going. That means an object in motion will stay in motion. Second, if you want to accelerate very fast, you need to apply more force. That means you need to burn your engines really, really fast. And the third law of motion is when you burn the engines, the hot gases come out in this direction and your rocket flies in the opposite direction. To do that burning, you can use hydrogen gas because hydrogen has atomic number 1, and when you burn it in presence of oxygen, it can explode and it result is water, which is safe for the environment. Other things that you use as science in Space Force, these are advanced technologies, is machine learning. Machine learning is identifying objects automatically that this is a good object or an enemy object and then destroying it. And robotics, we don't want to keep humans in space because it's very expensive. You want autonomous vehicles that can act like robots to do this. Jet propulsion, we talked about combustion and that action equal to opposite reaction. And aerodynamics, when you're launching high-speed missiles, rockets, or even space planes, you need to be for them to be very efficient. And thermodynamics, all this is running by the electronics and sensing equipments. You don't want them to burn out in high heat or extremely cold weather in space. The future of Space Force, we don't have good space planes right now, but we need to build better space planes. Then the satellites used to be very big and bulky. You can make them with the smaller satellites like called nanosatellites. We can use Space Force to explore new planets, and we can also use it to jam communication devices of enemy countries. So that's all about Space Force.